Hi, and welcome to MACO Tarot. If you're new, if you are returning, welcome back. So glad to have you. I want to take a moment out to say thank you so much again for your subscriptions and your comments and your likes. I definitely appreciate it, and I do my best to respond to each and every one of you. With that being said, I wanted to do a quick reading. It's going to be quick, and I promise I'm not trying to be messy. But it's a very weird feeling I keep getting with Cardi B and Stefon. Now, I do believe that Stefon loves Cardi and Cardi loves him. But I just keep getting this energy that she's feeling kind of controlled by him. I don't know if it's a situation where maybe she's the first person he's really truly loved and wants to be with, and so there's a desire to control because with his career there are a lot of hours in a day where either he's practicing or playing, and sometimes they're out of state, and all that kind of stuff. And of course with kids and her own career, she's not able to just follow every single place you go, so there's a lot of time away. And I don't know if it's when they're together, his possessiveness of her is what I feel. I'm just being honest. Or what I feel, his possessiveness of her is because I barely get to see you, so I just want all your time and attention. And it could be that because we only get to see snapshots. But then I also feel like there's this controlling where I'm watching you, I'm checking for you. And the feeling I get, this is just my feelings that I feel before I pull any cards. The feeling that I keep getting is like, I know how you cheated with me. And so now I'm suspicious of whether you're cheating on me. My grandparents used to say, be careful how you start something because it usually ends that way. So like when you're the person when you're cheating with the person, let's say who's married, it's like, oh, I'm special. Look at me. And then you won. So you got the person. But then now your mind may drift to say, well, I remember when she said she was at the studio and she was at my house. Or I remember, those things can plague and they can affect your relationship. Okay. I think the other issue we're dealing with here too is the fact that you are something of a rebound. This Cardi B was clearly hurt. She said it in interviews, very broken, very hurt by her relationship ending. He was the only person checking for her. He was the only person there. And so she decided to give him a chance. Now, she's very loyal. So I'm not even saying she's out there cheating or doing anything. But it just makes me wonder, is she really all in? Because you haven't, now this is the therapist in me, but you haven't processed through your past relationship. So are you even ready to start a new one? There was no definitive break. There was no, my marriage is ended. I'm distraught. I take this time by myself to heal. And then later someone comes in the picture. Now I know life gets messy, so this ain't, the perfect world. But ideally, there has been no break in this relationship that's actually still there because he won't divorce her. And then this relationship, this new relationship. So I feel like when I feel the energy of Stefon, I feel like loving hard, but yet being very insecure, which is the perfect recipe for someone controlling. And then having for Cardi B just come out of a marriage and really not really all the way out because she's not divorced yet, but ending a marriage that she truly loved this person and they have a lot of memories and they did the dating a long time and did it right and blah, blah, blah. But you haven't had a chance to heal, really. What I'm saying? I just don't feel like she had a chance to heal. And so I feel like there's some issues going on with her with this relationship of feeling controlled and I can't be out of pocket or you're assuming, stuff like that. And then I feel like with Stefon, the fear of losing her because he truly does love her and wants to be with her. I don't know how he is in other relationships because it's always been very, very quiet. But I feel like his feelings are out there now. You got a son with this person and you're wanting to make it work, but it's getting to the point where it's controlling. Okay? That's the feeling. Now we're going to see what the cards say. Okay? Enough of me babbling, right? All right. I'm going to pull the Mind Games deck. What kind of mind games is going on? I'm going to twist it a little bit. What kind of mind games? Well, what kind of mind games are going on between Cardi B and Stefon? What kind of mind games is going on in this relationship here? I keep seeing this deck. I keep seeing the word controlling on the deck card, but let's see. What's going on with them? Any mind games being played here? Oh, y'all, I can't make it up. The married single person. Huh? Okay. It says this person is officially married. Dun, 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 dun. But cheats so much that you would think they are single. If you don't mind being a side piece, have at it, because they are not leaving their spouse. Now, this does have a different connotation because, of course, she was cheated on and, you know, she got to the point where she's outside. She got a whole song on it. She's outside as a result. But to him, in a sense, this could be what it is. Like, you were married and you are married and you still act like you're single. Bottom of the deck, the blamer. This person blames you for everything. No matter what they did, they will find a way to make it your fault. The blamer. Okay. I don't know if that's her, him, or whatever, but that's interesting. Interesting. Let's see what comes out. What is going on with this situation with Cardi B and Stefon behind the scenes? What are they working through? What are they dealing with? Cardi B and Stefan Diggs. What's going on with Cardi B and Stefon? Here, stop. Oh, look at that. Look at that card. Okay, we got stingy. And we got intuitive. We got a thief and irresponsible. What the world? Thief and irresponsible. Aries energy. Weak. I feel like with the stingy energy, it's not about money, of course, because they both have money. I feel like it's about holding back something. Holding back something. I feel like either he or Cardi B or both are pretty intuitive. And so this is about feelings. This is about my gut instincts. That's like this person is holding back something. There's a thief here at the center of the deck. Someone taking something. Maybe stole his heart or stole her heart, you know, but taking something, but being irresponsible with it. So it's given the energy that it could be him feeling like you stole my heart. Like you're there and I was there for you and I didn't plan on falling in love, but I did. And I feel like you're being irresponsible with my heart and my feelings. And I feel like this might be because she's a little bit emotionally disconnected. Like I feel like she loves him and she cares, or she wouldn't be there. But I think she needed that dopamine hit. You know, she needed that person being there for her, the fun times, the trips, the travel, da-da-da-da-da. But I feel like things have happened so very fast with her and with them that she might even be second guessing, like, what in the world did I do? I have a whole child with somebody I'm not married to. I'm married with somebody else. It's a whole mess, right? But life is messy. And I don't want to hurt him because I think she's very loyal. I think she would stay and do the right thing. But I think there's just such a controlling energy, I feel. I don't know. I just feel like it's controlling. We do have the Aries energy here, which is the Emperor in the regular deck. Traditional Rider-Waite tarot. And the Emperor is a person in the upright. Okay, there it is. Because I was like, why? Where is that? Okay, so the Emperor, I said this before. The Emperor in the upright possesses all the qualities of the kings in the upright. So financially stable, mentally stable, articulate, you know, ambitious, emotional, right? In the reverse, the Emperor can be controlling. That's where I might be getting some of that controlling energy. Matter of fact, I don't know why I want to try to pull out some of this tarot. The Aries can be controlling, can be, you know, doing too much in any of the Aries. Cold-hearted, you know, if it's a cup. If it's money, maybe not good with money, being more reckless. If it's ambitious, maybe not being ambitious. So when it's in the reverse, it's the opposite. All right, what jumped out was the Four of Swords in reverse. The Four of Swords in reverse. So this is like exhaustion or it can be an awakening of sorts. And this is where I feel like Cardi B could have saw him one way, and maybe she's starting to see a little bit of cracks, which, I mean, we're all human. But she could be seeing a little cracks in the facade and being like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to get into this in a serious way. Anything else about this Aries energy, Emperor energy? Yeah, emotionally, she could be just overwhelmed. And so any additional problems is just too much, because she's barely getting over the situation with her husband, who she's still married to. And then it's like, we're together. And of course, the honeymoon period is the honeymoon period, and then when you throw a baby in the midst of that honeymoon period, sometimes the honeymoon period is extended because we went from, oh, we found each other, we're so in love, to now we got a baby, yay, celebration, So then you got all those months of being delicate. She's pregnant. This is a life we're bringing, blah, 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 the parties, da, 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 da. And then when the fanfare is over and it's just the two of you in this life that y'all are trying to blend, reality can then sit in sometimes and be like, I don't know if I'm really happy. Because in the quote unquote dating part, y'all are already bonded. You're already together and living together and having kids and da da da, while you're in the dating part before the work part starts. But I digress. Anything else? Nothing is jumping out right now. Let's see. What's going on with the shadow work deck? What are some issues going on? Dang, I want to come out. Comparisonitis. Oh no, not this one. Not this one. Y'all, a comparisonitis is, you did this for him, why you want to do it for me? You broke your neck for this one, why you want to do that for me? You did da-da-da, but why you want to do that for me? That's the comparisonitis. You throwing up in somebody's face, oh, well, you did all of this, or you do that for them. It could be family. You do this for your family, but you won't spend time, Anything else? What's going on behind the scenes? Whoa, these things are jumping out. Okay, now we're coming down where I thought. Demanding. Yeah, I call it controlling. But that demanding, like, you're my woman, you should be here. You're my woman, you should be at every game. You're my woman, you shouldn't be doing this. You're my woman. And it could be your man, you're my man, because she could have some insecurities too. Whoa, that flipped in my hand. I don't know if you caught that little magic trick. But obsessive. I can see that. I feel like, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Okay. Shh, don't say nothing. Look, I'm leaning in. Can't see me, but I'm leaning in. I'm going to tell you a secret, what I feel here with this obsessive. I feel like Stefan was following and secretly manifesting Cardi B a long time before they met. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, you can have a crush and just be like, ooh, if I got a chance, that kind of thing. And I think that his heart probably went out, because she would do lives where she would be crying and, just really frustrated. And I mean, she is a good person, and I think that it was kind of like, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to go for it. And he somehow got that opportunity. Now, how they met and talked, now, I don't know. But whatever it was like, if I get the opportunity, that's going to be mine. And he got the opportunity and he was there. And of course, there are people that can be manipulative and say what you need to hear. But I think he knew what she needed to hear. And he opened her heart up. And I don't doubt that she loves him. But I definitely feel like he is a little bit more attached, a little bit more obsessive, a little bit more controlling, a little bit more demanding than her. And probably comparisonitis about the support that he wants her to give him, which is why she's at a lot of things that he does, because number one, they get to spend some time together, but number two, it's, I need you there for me. I'm gonna do something. Well, hold on, let me finish this. But I'm going to do something because I feel like it's something to do with Stefan's history. So this is impromptu, guys. This is totally out of the blue. I did not plan on doing this. But I'm going to profile him to see what his past was. But give me a minute. Is there anything else with the shadow work that is going on behind the scenes of this relationship? Anything else? I think that's it. I don't feel anything. Yeah, that's a good. Okay. So now, this is what we're about to do. Give me a second to recalibrate. I'm going to do a profile on Stefon by alone, not focused necessarily on Cardi B. So let's get some information about Stefan Diggs, his history. Who is he? I didn't want to fall. Tempted to keep it. I guess I will. Black magic. Stubborn. Oh. Alright. Let's get the energy of Stefan Diggs. What is going on? Who is Stefan Diggs? What is his history? What is his story? Stefan Diggs. What is the story? Who's Stefan? I'm hearing the word abandon. I'm hearing the word abandon. The story with Stefan. Wow. Karmic. Definitely some spiritual energy here. Child or children. Rival. Manifestation. Money is coming. Freak. Sexual trauma. User. Narcissist. Whoa. Hood rat. Bully. Cancer. Boundaries. Virgo. Friend. Witchcraft. Now listen. Gemini on the bottom of the deck. Which is the Lovers. Okay. What I'm seeing here is there's a lot of spiritual energy. Now, when I just did that earlier part with Cardi B, intuitive came out. This really could be Stefan being very intuitive, being an empath, feeling stuff, which makes sense because a lot of times when there's trauma, sexual trauma did come out, but when there is trauma, depending on what it is, as a child especially, and it came out right under child or children, this is how empaths are born. Okay? The trauma could be physical, sexual, mental, verbal, emotional, whatever it is. It could be, it's something that causes you to begin that process of being hyper sensitive to people and to environments. And I told you I was hearing when I was shuffling, abandoned. There's probably a feeling of abandonment. I don't know if it's a simple dad left. I don't know if it was mom was there, but maybe not emotionally because she had to work or do something. I don't know. But there's a feeling of being alone. There's a feeling of being abandoned by people. Wow. I'm hearing like channeling the energy, channeling that pain into football because that got me attention. That got me praise. That got me attention. It gave me something to do. Gave me people to be around. Lonely. Okay, the guys, this is going to be kind of channeled, but I'm also going to look at the cards. Lonely. Wow. Now, this is nothing on the cards. I feel like Cardi's a mom energy to him. She's a good mom. And she's a good mom to her kids. But then there's also this mama energy that he wants from her to nurture him, make sure he's good, pay attention to him, love on him. That can become exhausting to her, but I do feel like it's a mom energy here with her. Okay? With the black magic and the karmic, and we also got witchcraft over here. Yeah, it's definitely spiritual stuff. Now, he could have done something to try to attract her. I already said manifesting Cardi B, and this is manifestation here. So he very well could be big on that. Of course, you know, from what I've seen, he doesn't really talk much. So nobody really knows a whole lot. But he could very well be very spiritual. He could, you know, believe in black magic and stuff like that. He could be a karmic energy or been around karmic energies. that came in or come in to teach you lessons, even though it's painful. And then, like I said, just the attention seeking behaviors are there. Yeah. Then we have rival, and this could be just that feeling of competitiveness, because if I feel lonely and you give me attention, then it's like I'm jealous of that. I want it all, which can be suffocating to somebody. And so there could be the feeling of a rival. Now that could be offset. So some of this might be kind of morphing into where we are now, but that could be offset. Like I'm in competition and I like to win because I've lost a lot. Okay. Money is coming. Of course, he makes money with football, but I'm sure there's more money, anytime he's around Cardi, there's ways of making money. And her support seems to open up doors, for the people that she's around. I've noticed that. Freak is there. Now, freak could be tied into the sexual trauma that, we talk about black magic or sex magic being used when you're good in the bedroom, but that's how you know how to use your sexuality and your looks to win somebody over. But it's more than that. It's more of a spiritual thing where you go in because of the competition. It's like being very competitive. So you're going to do their best to put it down. Yeah. And so maybe somebody in this picture might be a user. All right. And we're back. I had to get something to drink. Something is tying up my throat chakra. And I just said he doesn't say a lot. So I just feel like it's a lot that's not said. It's a lot that's being choked down, pushed down. Okay. It could be the feeling that people use him a lot or try to. And then there's a narcissistic energy here. Narcissism is that people focus only on self, feeling like these people are selfish, right? With the hood rat, I feel like this honestly could be his energy just because of where he was born, not saying he is one, but where he was born, there could have been bullies, again, he's very, at least on camera so far, he's not a loudmouth, he's just very quiet. And so he could have been bullied as a kid. But then also he could be a bully in the sense of that controlling nature he has. Because bully, freak, and karmic is in alignment too. And so he could be a bully. Not necessarily saying brutalizing, hitting, fighting, but just with his words. I need you to do this. I need you to be here. I need, that kind of thing. We do have Cancer. This could be his sign, somebody else's sign. Cancer is the Chariot. This is about victory, success. I feel like this is like overcoming obstacles. Now, somebody in his family could have died of cancer. I'm getting that for some reason. Someone he was close to. Because right next to it, there are boundaries. I guess he's really big on boundaries. He's really big on personal space. He's really big on keeping stuff behind the scenes and not putting a whole relationship into the media. I feel like he's that person. Like, this is between us. It's not between them. Don't put my business out like that. Very private, very quiet. Quiet storm is what I'm feeling. It's a lot behind the scenes, but what he shows the world is very guarded, very pushed down. I feel like the push down emotions is coming from a fear of being excited, a fear of truly trusting that this is mine and this is going to work. I think he wants it to work, but I think he has his doubts and he doesn't want to be heartbroken because he feels like he may be. Virgo energy is here. And Virgo is the Hermit. And that's kind of the energy I'm reading off of him too. He could be a Virgo, but this is also behavioral stuff. He could very well just be a person. The Hermit is always like by themselves, seeking knowledge, seeking truth, trying to figure something out, And so that could be him, being online, monitoring what she's doing, looking at lives, listening to what she's saying, trying to make sure he stays up on like, okay, what is she doing? Who's she talking to? Where is she? Where did she disappear? Stuff like that, which comes off as controlling. and demanding. Like, dang, I can't walk away for 5 minutes. What do you think I'm doing? In the bathroom? You know, like that. Okay. The spiritual message is friend. And maybe he's in need of a friend. Can you tell us more? What was this friend about? What is this friend about? What is this message about friend about? Maybe he's a good friend. Because nothing's popping out. Maybe he's just a good friend. He cares a lot about people. Baggage. I feel like that's carrying other people's baggage. Devil in disguise at the bottom of the deck. I feel like that's carrying other people's baggage. Being an empath, that happens a lot where people trust you. People talk to you. You go in and you can absorb other people's energy, and you can be sad. You can be mad. You can feel the way that they feel because you've internalized what they're talking about. Yeah. So at the end of the day, he's experienced either sexual trauma or some type of trauma. This has created the empath, the intuitive that he is. He's very sensitive to energy. There's this wanting of this mama energy that's here with Cardi B. Kind of almost like be my mama. You know, be here for me. Take care of me. Make sure I feel good because I haven't had that. And not to say his mama don't love him. Not to say the mama didn't care. But I'm just saying it's something it's like a mama wound. It's like that I needed the emotional connection to somebody. Like I might have been provided for. I might have been going to practice and stuff. I don't know his history, you know. But the emotional connection is not there. And I think he likes the softness of Cardi B. He likes the mama energy of Cardi B. But it kind of can be suffocating because it's almost like, pay attention to me. Look at me. Be here for me. For me. Kind of like how kids are. And it's understandable with kids because, you know, they need you. But you're grown. That's the feeling I feel. What you don't see coming is witchcraft. And this goes back to, I don't know if he's consulting people to create, and I know this sounds so weird, but I'm going to say it, like create a spell to keep her, to bind her to him. Remember, we have black magic here, karmic energy. We talk about manifestation. You know, I think that could be there. For some reason, I feel like I want to pull from a different deck for this. Can you tell us more about witchcraft? What else about this witchcraft that we don't see coming? What is he doing? Unless someone's using witchcraft to try to break them up. What is going on with this witchcraft here? Abortion? Then we got good news. I don't know if he's thinking that good news is here. I don't know how that ties into the good news. Angels. So maybe there's someone doing witchcraft to try to create some type of abortion or something. Create the loss of a pregnancy. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but just the loss of a pregnancy or something. But then there's good news and they're angels. So maybe there's angels blocking the loss of a pregnancy. Work husband, work wife. Ooh, you ain't gonna believe this. Mama issues. Mama issues. So yeah, it's something tied. Oh, I don't feel like getting all this deep. Lord, I was trying to do a simple reading. But it's something tied to the feeling that it's kind of narcissistic energy, I hate to say, because it's almost like I love this person. I want to be with this person, to be able to control this person and always have this person in my life. We have a baby. I don't know why, but that's how I feel. And maybe there's something where he feels like people may try to do something that will affect the birth of another child or something, or there may be an ending of a pregnancy, but there's angels and good news coming. this could be someone he either works with or she works with that he has concerns about. And then there, of course, are mama issues. So I would hope that, this may run in the family as far as doing black magic and things. I don't know. Witchcraft. And so maybe he's feeling like mama may not, behind the scenes, want something to happen. I'm not really sure. I'm going to leave that there. So anything he needs to work on is anything Stefan needs to work on within himself. With the shadow work card. Anything Stefan needs to work on within himself. 32 on the clock when I just looked. And things Stefan needs to work on within himself. I can't. Aggressive. Okay, I keep saying. Keep getting that energy of controlling, demanding. Now aggressive is out. Feeling powerless. And that makes sense. And I know it seems like two totally different things, but oftentimes when someone feels powerless to a situation, they often will become more aggressive because they're going to try to force it, which is what can end up being, I hate to say it, but domestic violence or something like that. Because if this narcissistic energy is him, then sometimes they feel very, very insecure. They try to act like they don't, but they really do. And so because they feel insecure, that sense of powerlessness, a lot of times they will try to control. Like I told you, I keep feeling this controlling energy to micromanage, know where you are, this and that, so that you can keep proving to them that you're not doing anything. And with his, prowess on the football field, he has to be somewhat aggressive, but it can be like, you're mine, you're not going anywhere, that kind of energy too. All right. And then we have complaining. So there's some complaining energy there too. Underneath the bottom is untrustworthy. And I just feel like that's energy. It could be him, that he's untrustworthy, but it feels like you don't trust people. It feels like because of your life experiences and the people you've been with, you don't trust people. And mistrustful right after that. And avoidant behavior. Okay. So he has a couple things. Nobody's perfect. This is not to say their relationship won't work out. It's just to say that there are some things that probably need to be worked on within himself, because, I can see Cardi B getting tired after a while of having to prove that I'm a faithful type person, even though we know she was until she was like pushed to the brink. I think everybody has a breaking point. And I think needing love, needing attention, needing time, she broke for him. But the problem is, now that you've done it, I know how you snuck with me. I know how you saw me and you said you were here. I know that. So now, are you doing that with me? So sometimes, it's like, be careful what you wish for. Be careful. So with all of that, I'm going to conclude this message here. Let me know if you found it entertaining. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until we meet again, remember, it always gets better. Always. Bye.